Hello and welcome to MedTube channel. Now we are going to discuss about the embryological derivatives of the germ layers. Which of the following structure has an embryological derivation from the arrow marked region? As you know, the question is regarding the arrow marked region. The image is the scanning electron microscope of a developing embryo. The most notable feature here at the center of the picture is the neural tube, which is the precursor to the central nervous system, including the brain and the spinal cord. However, this question focuses on the other aspect. We are going to begin with the notochord, which is the axial mesodome. Near to the notochord is the para-axial mesodome, which is the focus of the question. Hence, the question is asking about the derivatives of the para-axial mesodome. Let's view into the detail. After gastrulation, a transverse section of the embryo reveals three germ layers: ectoderm towards the amniotic cavity dorsally, mesoderm, the middle layer, and the endoderm towards the yolk sac ventrally. The notochord, axial mesoderm, stimulates the overlying ectoderm to form the neuroectoderm, which subsequently becomes the neural groove and eventually develops into the neural tube. This forms the central structure. At the periphery, the surface ectoderm gives rise to the skin's surface epithelium, the epidermis. Between the neuroectoderm and the surface ectoderm, the neural crust cells emerges. These cells develop dorsally and ventrally to the neural tube. Now, regarding the mesoderm, there are three distinct regions. Firstly, axial mesoderm, notochord. Next, para-axial mesoderm, adjacent to the notochord. Then, lateral mesoderm, which includes intermediate mesoderm and lateral plate mesoderms. Para-axial mesoderm forms somites, which differentiate into vertebra, ribs, and skeletal muscles. Next, intermediate mesoderm, which develops into structures of genitourinary system, including kidneys, testes, and ovaries. Then, lateral plate mesoderm. You can see which is divided by intraembryonic coulombic structure, cavity. So, which is formed by dorsal parietal lateral plate mesoderm, which forms the parietal pleura and other body wall components, and ventral visceral lateral plate mesoderm, which forms the visceral pleura and associated structures. Returning to the question, the arrow marked region, which is the para-axial mesoderm. Option A, kidney. The intermediate mesoderm forms the kidney, testes, and the ovaries. Option B, dorsal root ganglion. All ganglions originates from the neural crust cells. Option C, rib. The para-axial mesoderm forms the vertebra and the rib. Option D, parietal pleura. The parietal pleura derived from the dorsal parietal lateral plate mesoderm. Therefore, the arrow marked region is the para-axial mesoderm forms the vertebra and ribs. So, the correct answer is option C, rib. Thank you for your attention throughout the session. I wish you all the best. Signing off from the MedTube channel and see you next time. Until then, cheers.